Hello dear students. Today I will discuss about a new topic, air. Before learning about air in details, let us first look up the essential key points that I will discuss about. Number 1, properties of air. Number 2, components of air. Number 3, uses of air. Number 4, air pollution. Dear students, let us first revisit the concept of matter before we begin with the definition of air. Any substance that occupies space and has mass is called matter. The three states of matter are solid, liquid, and gas. Matter is made up of small particles. Solids are the substances in which particles are tightly packed. Example, books, chair, table, etc. Solids are hard substances and have a fixed shape. Liquids are the substances in which particles are loosely packed. Example, water, milk, juice, tea, coffee, oil, etc. Liquids do not have a fixed shape. Instead, they take the shape of the container poured in. They can flow easily. Gases are the substances in which particles are very loosely packed. Example, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, etc. Gases occupies the entire space available to them and can move freely. Air. Now let us look up to the definition of air. Invisible gaseous substance surrounding the earth, a mixture mainly of oxygen, nitrogen and other gases. It may also contain dust particles, water vapor and germs. Every living organism in this planet needs air to survive. Plants use carbon dioxide to prepare their food. Animals and plants take in oxygen from air and use it for breathing. So we can say that air is present all around us. We cannot see, smell or touch air, but we can feel air when it moves. Moving air is called wind and gentle wind is called breeze. Now let us discuss the properties of air. Number 1. Air has mass. To find this out, we need a scale or a ruler, 2 balloons, thread to tie the balloons. Inflate both the balloons and tie it with the thread to the either end at equal distance from the midpoint. Suspend the scale with a thread. Make sure that the thread is tied at the midpoint of the scale. What do we see? We observe that both the balloons are at same level. Take a pin and prick one of the balloon. What do we see now? We see that one end of the scale slightly tilt down. Thus, it proves that air has mass. Air fills up space. This property of air can be explained well by an experiment. Take a bucket full of water and a bottle. Push the empty bottle upside down in the bucket full of water. You will see bubbles coming out of the water. These are the bubbles of air that were present inside the bottle. Thus, it proves that air fills up space. Air exerts pressure. The pressure exerted by air on all bodies at all times in all directions is called air pressure. When air moves at high speeds it creates a low pressure area. Air moves from the region where the air pressure is high to the region where the air pressure is low. Let us take a glass and a hardboard and some water to prove it. Take a glass and fill only 1/3 of it with water. Cover the mouth of the glass with an hardboard. Now hold the card in place and invert the glass. Slowly remove your hand from the card. The card sticks to the glass. This is due to the pressure. The air outside exerts upward pressure on the index card or the hardboard. This air pressure is more than the weight of the water in the glass. Air expands. Air expands when heated up. The particles move farther apart from each other and thus it expands. Take a balloon and stretch the balloon over the mouth of the bottle and fit it tightly. Then we need to take a bowl containing hot water and place the bottle on it for some time. We can observe the balloon will start blowing up. This happens as the air inside the bottle gets heated up and starts to move faster in all directions and also enters the balloon. Thus, we can say that air expands. Again, when we take out the bottle from the bowl, after some time, the balloon gets deflated. Lastly, we can say that air is colorless, tasteless, and odorless. Last but not the least, air can be compressed. Compressing the air makes the molecules move more rapidly, which increases the temperature. Compressing air in literally to force it into a smaller space and as a result, bringing the molecules closer to each other. Air acts somewhat like a spring. When we compress or squeeze it into a smaller volume. When the air is compressed, a backward force is exerted to the piston by the air present in the cylinder. When we push on the piston, we can feel the air pushing back. Thus, we can say that air can be compressed. Components of air. We all know that air surrounds us everywhere on this planet. One cannot imagine the existence of life without air. In ancient times, the air was thought to be pure substance, but was later found to be a mixture of many gases. The composition of air is not constant and changes from place to place. For example, in polluted areas, since emission of carbon dioxide are very high, air over there contains the higher percentage of carbon dioxide. The main components of air are explained in the pie chart. Nitrogen. When we blow over a burning candle, we notice that it extinguishes. This means air contains incombustible gases, means which don't support combustion. This is majority due to the presence of nitrogen. Nitrogen occupies nearly 78% of Earth's atmosphere and is the most abundant gas on our planet. Oxygen. Air contains some matter which supports combustion. This substance is oxygen. Oxygen is one of the major components of air around us. Air comprises almost 21% of oxygen. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is mainly produced due to respiration by plants and animals or burning of fuel. It occupies 0.038% of the Earth's atmosphere. Its occupancy keeps on changing from one place to another in our atmosphere. Other gases comprises of water vapor, smoke and dust particles. We know that water present in oceans and rivers evaporates during summer and escapes in the air. Thus, water vapor is one of the components of the air. It occupies very less percentage of Earth's atmosphere. Smoke and dust particles. Smoke is present in our atmosphere due to the burning of fuels. Its occupancy varies from place to place. It is a mixture of gases and is often harmful. Dust particles are also present in our atmosphere, which we observe when we see a ray of light in a dark room. Smoke and dust particles occupy less than 1% of Earth's atmosphere. Argon is the third most abundant of the noble gases in the Earth's atmosphere at 0.934%. Argon is often used when an inert atmosphere is needed. It is used in the way or the production of titanium and other reactive elements. It is also used by welders to protect the weld area and in incandescent light bulbs to stop oxygen from corroding the filament. Uses of air. Now let us see the various uses of air. Number 1. Supports life. Air is a mixture of various gases. That means it also contains gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, etc. All living beings need oxygen for their survival, and all plants need oxygen for respiration and carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Plants are the producer for the entire food chain. If air is absent, then plants and animals can't survive. So, air supports life. Number 2. Helps in combustion. Combustion is a chemical process in which the fuel combines with oxygen gas to release energy in the form of heat and light. During combustion, oxygen in the atmosphere combines with the carbon atoms to produce carbon dioxide and hydrogen atoms to produce water. Number 3. Helps in moving the turbine of the windmill to produce electricity. One way to conserve wind energy is by using a generator system that's powered by wind turbines. A wind turbine is made up of a rotor, a series of blades, and a shaft. As the wind blows against the blades, the rotor turns the shaft. When the shaft is connected to a generator, wind energy is converted into mechanical energy, which causes the generator to spin. As the generator spins, electrical power or energy is created. Generator equipment is also capable of storing electrical power for later use, much like a battery cell stores energy. Open areas free of building and trees create the best condition for a wind generator to work. Number 4. Helps bird to fly. Birds use their strong pectoral muscles to flap their wings and give them the thrust to move through the air and fly. In a way, birds use a swimming motion to get the lift needed to fly. Getting the air to move over and under the wings also require the wings to be moving. This is called thrust. Thrust is created when birds flap their wings using their strong pectoral muscles. Aeroplanes use another method of thrust. They use engines. This can be either propeller or jet engines. With both birds and aeroplanes, thrust is other part of creating lift and the ability to fly. So, the shape of the wings and the ability to move it through the air are the two things needed for bird and aeroplane for the flight. Breathing mechanism. Breathing is the process of inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide by the lungs. There is a system of organs involved in this process. Key points on mechanism of breathing. Breathing is the physical process of inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. The mechanism of breathing involves two main processes, inspiration and expiration. Inspiration occurs when the diaphragm and the external intercostal muscle contract. Expiration occurs when the diaphragm and the intercostal muscle relax. The contraction or the relaxation of muscle around the lungs changes the entire volume of air inside the lungs, and so does the pressure. If the pressure inside the lungs is more than the outside, the air rushes out. If the opposite happens, the air rushes in. Due to high elasticity of the lung tissue and low surface tension of moisture in the lungs have higher compliance. Bird respiration. The process of inhalation and exhalation in birds. Three distinct sets of organs perform respiration: the anterior air sacs, the lungs, and the posterior air sacs. In addition to lungs, birds have air sacs inside their body. Birds can breathe through the mouth or the nostrils. Air entering these openings passes through the pharynx and then into the trachea. The trachea is generally as long as the neck. Fish gills are organs that allow fish to breathe underwater. Most fish exchange gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide using gills that are protected under gill covers on both sides of the pharynx. Gills are tissues that are like short threads, protein structures called filaments. Air pollution. Let us look up to the definition of air pollution. The addition of harmful and undesirable substances to the air as a result of human activities is called air pollution. Air pollution is caused by solid and liquid particles and certain gases that are suspended in the air. These particles and gases can come from cars and trucks, exhaust, factories, dust, pollen mold spores, volcanoes, and wildfires. The solid and liquid particles suspended in our air are called aerosols. Let us discuss some of the factors of air pollution. Factors affecting air pollution. Number 1. Industries. Industries are a major contributor to air pollution. Industrial processes discharge pollutants such as nitrous oxide and hydrofluorocarbons into the air. Petroleum refineries also liberate lots of hydrocarbons into the air. The overall effect is amplification in the global warming probability. Number B. Vehicle emission. Vehicle emission are another sources of fossil fuel emissions which invariably leads to air pollution. Emission from the automobile engines hold both primary and secondary pollutants. Household and farming chemicals. Fumigating homes, crop dusting, painting supplies, household cleaning products, over-the-counter insect or pest killer, fertilizer dust, all of these emit harmful chemicals into the air and lead to pollution. Lastly, deforestation. Deforestation affects the atmosphere in more than a few ways. Forests act as sponges for carbon dioxide through a process called carbon sequestration. Trees amass carbon dioxide in their plant tissues as they take in this gas to undertake food making. In effect, this action gets rid of carbon dioxide from the air. When forests are burned and destroyed on purpose and to tremendous extent, this storage area for carbon dioxide is removed, thus increasing the amount of atmospheric carbon dioxide. Let us now discuss the causes, effects, and the preventive methods. Number 1. Causes. Smoke and harmful gases released from industries and vehicles. Smoke released from burning of solid waste. Number 3. Deforestation. 4. Household and farming chemicals. Effects. Number 1. Causes diseases such as asthma and lung cancer. Number 2. Causes breathing problem, coughing, sneezing and headaches. Number 3. Destroy the ozone layer in the atmosphere. Preventive methods. Number 1. Industry should filter out harmful pollutants before emitting. Number 2. Use LPG and CNG gases in vehicles. Number 3. Burning of garbage, leaves and wood should be avoided. Ozone layer. Now let us learn the meaning of ozone layer. The ozone layer or the ozone shield is a region of Earth's stratosphere that absorbs most of the sun's ultraviolet radiation. A layer in the Earth's stratosphere at an altitude of about 10 km containing a high concentration of ozone, which absorbs most of the ultraviolet radiation reaching the Earth from the sun. Ozone depletion occurs when chlorofluorocarbons and halons gases formerly found in the aerosol spray cans and refrigerants are released into the atmosphere. CFC and halogens cause chemical reactions that break down ozone molecules, reducing ozone's ultraviolet radiation absorbing capacity. Points to remember. Number A. Air is a mixture of gases. Number B. The three states of matter are solid, liquid and gas. Number C. Properties of air. Number D. Components of air. Number E. Uses of air. Number F. Breathing mechanism. Number G. Air pollution. And number H. Ozone layer. Thank you dear students for watching this video. Until then, stay connected.